Hi everybody. Today I've been inspired by the visual style of Man Ray's Rayograph technique. But by the end of this video, you'll see how I reached a different type of silhouette, a style I found more intriguing. What I want to show you through this process is the importance of experimenting in Midjourney. Let's start with a basic image to see if Midjourney knows this Rayograph image style. The prompt is calligraphy portraits in the style of a Rayograph. Some nice portraits, but not a Rayograph style. Let's try in the style of a photogram. Rayograph was Man Ray's term for what's also called a photogram. The technique is photography without a camera by placing objects on light-sensitive paper that's then exposed to light. The result is a ghostly, otherworldly image, with objects appearing as white silhouettes against a black background. These gets us into an intriguing set of images. We can re-roll to see what else we get. These come closest to the style of a photogram. Let's try the style of Man Ray, though I dislike using an artist's name to indicate a style. We clearly have a problem with the prompt. We can try rephrasing the prompt so that it's a photogram of scattered calligraphy brushes. Nice images, but let's keep working on it by using a very descriptive prompt. This is getting somewhere. Without knowing the prompt, you might not guess the objects. That's what we're aiming for in these images. Let's try other objects. A broken Japanese tea set. This is not particularly ghostly. Let's work on that by changing some things around in the prompt. Fascinating images, not what I intended, but I do like what I am unexpectedly getting here. It's hard to know whether to explore this style further or to keep pursuing my original concept. I decided to abandon my original intent to replicate the Man Ray Rayograph style, though I will try that again in the future in another video if I have more luck with it. Let's try this prompt with another type of object, a Korean celadon vase, but with a bit of variation. These images have a specific quality, a style that I would never have imagined if I were attempting to do so. Yet, the images did not pick up on two key terms for the prompt, from above and fragmented. I like the shadow play on this image. Let's try another object with more variations in the prompt. Here I'm adding haunted photograph and grayscale silhouettes of Tibetan prayer flags, flowing dynamic motion. Here we go. Do not be afraid to try different words in your prompts. Don't always stick to images in the styles of specific artists. Branch out and experiment. You never really know what you're going to come up with. Experimentation is a key part of AI image creation, of AI art, if you will. If you're trying to pursue generative images as art, then you have to break away from referencing other artists and try combinations others might never have tried. Note that term dynamic motion. That's one of my favorite terms to add to a prompt when it's appropriate. As you work through a series of images, think of a theme that ties the images together. In this video, I'm using objects from Asia. That's one of my favorite areas of the world. Let's work on more images. This time with Thai Buddhist amulets, but using the same prompt as before. What do we get? Unlike flags, these figures are stationary, so there's not the flowing motion as before, but this gives me an idea, and that's how experimentation works. Here's the prompt. Of course, a walking meditation is very slow, so in reality there would not be much dynamic motion. But what is reality? I also want to try the same prompt in version 3 of Midjourney. Version 3 is particularly good at ghostly type imagery. I'm especially drawn to mysterious compositions. Okay, moving on to Indonesia, let's try shadow puppets. Here's the prompt. Wonderful. I'm loving this experimentation with silhouettes. Keeping with an Asian theme, let's head to Japan. I know Kenbaku is a banned word in Midjourney. It has something to do with ropes. Use your imagination. Midjourney will not imagine it for you. But let's see what we get with this prompt. I like this image, especially these patterns. Nobuyoshi Awaki is a great Japanese photographer, but I don't want to replicate his style. And also, Midjourney probably will not let me. Let's think of some ways to describe a scene. Here, I'm only trying to nudge Midjourney with the mentioning of Awaki, with many other descriptors to see what we get in this haunted silhouette style. Here's the prompt, and I'm stuffing in a lot of adjectives. There's probably a lot that's not needed in this prompt. Yet, even though I mentioned Awaki, these images are nothing like its photographs. Another variation, staying in a Japanese theme but not mentioning any photographer. I had misspelled dynamic in the previous prompt that seemed not to have had an impact. Incredible image. Experimenting a bit further while staying within the family guidelines of Midjourney, what can we depict as a silhouette that entices our senses? Let's try this variation. That's weird. Very puppet like a marionette, but that makes sense. From the prompt, suspended from the ceiling and ropes. Let's vary the prompt some more. This is getting freaky. I do like it. I have a strange taste for the unexpected. We're going to end here. I hope you found this process informative. Experiment and enjoy creating images.